My name is Tshiamo Motshegwa. I'm the director for the African Open Science Platform. We will be hosting the International Data Week, the next iteration in 2027 in South Africa. Looking forward to engaging to advance the themes that were engaged on in IDW 2025 in Australia to make sure that there's continuity of conversations in 2027. Open science is critical. The definition of open science itself puts society at the core, that the science that we engage in must be translated into solutions that actually address societal challenges. And of course, we know issues of health, we know issues of food security, we know issues of climate change. Open science requires us to share the research outputs coming out of these researches as openly as possible to various stakeholders, including societal stakeholders. It also requires us to share the data sets for us to coagulate around them to be able to do more with the data set that we have, to be able to do more research, to do innovations, etc., etc. I think it's very, very critical also that when we communicate results of science, be able to communicate in a language that engages stakeholders like society to make sure that the science that we do is relevant and is understood. I think this is critical. We have the UNESCO Open Science recommendations that all countries, almost all countries in the world, have endorsed. Those recommendations require countries to do a set of number of things, including development of policy to support open science, including the necessary investments in infrastructure to support open science, also including the needed incentives to get researchers to do open science. I think many countries are at different stages of advancement in implementation of recommendations. Not many countries have got the necessary capital investments to be able to sustain the infrastructure as required. So I think there's a need to create ecosystems around shared infrastructures so that the return on investment for those that invest in infrastructure could be seen. It's going to be exciting. I think every time IDW happens, it happens every 2 years and it rotates around the world. It's very critical that for every country that hosts this brings in conversations that are obviously globally relevant, but also locally relevant. I happen to have the opportunity to be in the organizing committee for IDW 2018 in Africa, in Botswana. And I think from that IDW, the care principles that we heard about during the conference were coined. These are principles that allow indigenous knowledge owners, for example, to have more authority and control over the data sets and information that they have. I think it's very, very important for IDW 2027 to leave a mark also in terms of advancing various areas of open science, but most importantly, to be able to leave a legacy, including with early career researchers and other actors that are marginalized regarding our science systems.